Hello viewers, so welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video today, I decided to answer one of the jamming questions that people ask me, especially for international students that wants to come into Canada to come and study. Okay, you've gotten your visa to come into Canada. Eventually, you come into Canada. What happens if you decide not to go to school to study? You have your study visa, you're in Canada, but you chose not to go to school. What's the implication of that, and how can you navigate that? So that's what I'll be telling you in this episode today. So I want you to hang on tight, stay tuned as always. I will be dissecting this very jamming information with you. Alright viewers, so welcome back to my YouTube channel. I still remember my humble self, MC Bernardino. This is Canada Reality, where I dish out content for those that are already in Canada and those that are aspiring to migrate into Canada. Is this your first time on this YouTube channel? Please do me the honor, hit on the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell so that anytime I drop a video, you'll be among the first to get it. And for those that have been following us all this while, kudos to you. Please, thank you very much. Do endeavor to share this video and hit on the likes button. So just like I told you that I'll be dissecting to you what's the implication of coming into Canada on a study visa but you chose not to go to school. What is the implication of that? All right, just before I delve into this, I would like to let you know that first of all, for those of you that have been following me, just to reiterate again, disclaimer here, I'm not a licensed immigration officer. I'm just an international student who has been through the process. I have knowledge about it because of what I read and the information I get from people, because this is my area of interest. So if you need to actually get a professional advisor, a licensed immigration officer, you can actually consult any one of them. All right, so let's get talking. So now, hypothetically, let's take for instance, I applied to come into Canada on a study visa, and fortunately I get the study visa. And when I land in Canada, instead of going for September 2022, I'm just giving an instance, I decide not to go. Probably, I want to work, or I defer my admission or whatever. What do I do? All right, so the first question that comes up here is that, does the school, some people want to ask, does the school report you to IRCC that, okay, Bernard supposed to come to school but he's not in school, so school probably reporting to IRCC? All right, so in some cases schools report, but not in most cases. I mean, it's very rare for school to report you to IRCC saying that, okay, Bernard got a study visa to come to our school and probably you have not seen him, he has not reported to class. I'm not saying 100% they don't report, but in most cases, except there is a very cogent need for the school to actually single you out and report you to IRCC that you are not in school. So just to actually clear that fact. So now, let's now talk about you yourself that actually took that decision. In the first place, I'm not advising you to take that decision because it might not be the best decision for you to take because of the implication I will be explaining. So you deciding to do that, it's grievous, because in as much as the school is not reporting you to IRCC, don't forget that at the point in time, you might need to extend your study visa, because that study visa probably lasts for 1 year and you don't have any status again. Probably you want to renew your study visa again in Canada, or you have another reason to go to IRCC to apply for study or whatever visa you want to apply for this time around. So IRCC now by this time want to see the initial visa that was given to you. They want to see the completion letter from the school that you went to. So you need to upload that, especially if you're applying for your work permit or you want to extend your study visa. They want to see your enrollment letter in class. So that is where you're probably going to have the first problem, because by this time you do not have any document to show that initially the study visa that was granted to you, you completed the study, or you have an enrollment letter from the school that shows that you are presently in school. So that is one of the major stumbling blocks you'll be facing for deciding to take that route. I hope you actually understand that. If you need any clarification, any question on this, please drop it in the comment section. And if you enjoy it, please smash on the likes button. All right, so now let's now look at the option that is available for you if you decide to take this route. So the first option that you might be available for you if you decide to take this route is that, don't forget that you have decided not to go to school, either because you don't have the tuition fee or something happened after you got into Canada, your sponsor is not ready to support you. It could be any reason why you chose. It might not even be out of your own volition that you decide to do that. So the option that what most people take, most people that actually do this option they take, is that at the end of the day, in as much as they can't go to school, they can't go to IRCC again because the initial study visa, they didn't honor it. What some of them do is that they revert to being declaring filing for asylum. Filing for asylum means that you're saying that, okay, because of so story, because probably you speak to a lawyer and something is happening to you, as a result of that you can't go back to your country, Canada immigration should please help you out and stuff. So I mean, that's a route that people actually venture into after speaking to a lawyer. So that could be an option. So if you file for asylum, It's not automatic that you get the visa, but if you didn't get a visa, then the next thing people do is they file for humanitarian. Humanitarian is that because your asylum visa application failed, probably you appeal and it failed again, now you are seeking humanitarian. Now humanitarian is that Canada, because Canada is a country that is very magnanimous in nature, welcoming immigrants, so you might decide to file for humanitarian, and on that basis, because of the treaty of Canada with United Nations, okay, on the humanitarian grant, Canada should please help you because you can't go back to your country. That's another option that people look at after the probably refugee or asylum must have failed. Another option that people actually look at if humanitarian also fail is that this amount they might want to look at marriage routes. So marriage routes, probably that's going to be the third option you have, because asylum failed, humanitarian failed. Now you want to look at marriage route. So when I say marriage route means that this time around you look for somebody in Canada as a permanent resident or a Canadian citizen, and you guys get married. So getting married means that it has to be legitimate, right? I mean, I don't want to advise you to go into arranged marriage where we have to pay somebody. Some people do that, but I'm not. I don't preach that. But if you eventually find love in Canada, especially because you're single, you get married to that person, and the person can now help you to file for your papers. And if everything works well, all things being equal, you submit all the right documentation, you are inside Canada, everything should be expedited, and within 1 year you should also get your permit too. So you should get your PR2 in Canada. What happens is at the moment your spouse applies for you, Canada, immediately you do that, the IRCC gives you work permit. Okay, so they gives you work permit means that you can now work in Canada while your application is still being processed. But within 1 year, in most cases, your application is processed, and if you're lucky, you get a permanent resident. So this is what people do. I mean, for those that chose to go the route that I've just explained now. I mean, I'm so saying that people go for refugee, humanitarian, and marriage, it doesn't mean that they have to follow that chronological order. Some people, because they can't go to school, they just find love and they just go for marriage right away. So it doesn't have to be that you have to follow that chronological order that I just gave to you. I hope you understand that. Alright viewers, I hope you're following me, you understood the video that I brought for you, trying to explain to you what options you have if you decide to come into Canada and because of one thing or the other, reason beyond your control, you can't go to school, and what are the options you have. So I'm not trying to encourage you in this episode that you should actually follow this route, but I'm just trying to explain based on the questions that I get on my social media and sometimes on YouTube, people asking me what options do they have. So I've tried as much as possible to simplify this. If you need further clarification, I mean, you need to speak to a lawyer, you need to speak to a licensed immigration officer. You can actually research that online and actually speak to somebody so that you can know the kind of decision you need to take. But I'm just giving you hypothetically based on my experience and the information on what I've read. This is what is obtainable for people that decide to follow this route. If you feel you have any clarification you need me to actually you need me to answer some questions for you based on what I've said, feel free to drop it in the comment section. And if you enjoyed this video, please endeavor to smash on the likes button. Alright, just to summarize everything and to finalize everything, I've been able to tell you what option is available if you come into Canada and you decide not to go to school. It's not, I won't encourage that, because if you do that and you don't have a backup plan, it might affect you, and at the end of the day, you might find yourself back whatever country you come from. But if you decide to choose that, you must have actually done your research very well, and this video is actually just providing you with the options that people actually follow if they find themselves in such situation. So if you enjoyed this video, please smash on the likes button till I come back to you again on this YouTube channel with another very exciting video, trying to answer your question, trying to clarify some things for you as far as immigration is concerned. Please endeavor to subscribe to this YouTube channel and also share this video with whoever you feel will benefit from it. Thank you.